Today, I am showing you a short clip from a podcast all about the needs of Ukrainian families with children with autism. Hi there, I'm Dr. Mary Barbera, autism mom, behavior analyst, and best-selling author. Each week, I provide you with at least one video to turn autism or signs of autism around. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do that now. Today, I am sharing a small clip from podcast number 183 with Molly Pinney, who is the founder and CEO of the Global Autism Project. Today, we are just showing a clip from what we talked about in a recent interview about the needs of Ukrainian families living with children with autism, and also autism professionals who are trying to restart clinics to help families in Poland. So let's get to this short clip. We probably don't know what the autism rate is in Ukraine, but if it's anything like the United States, that's 1 in 44, it's a lot of kids. And those are kids with a diagnosis of autism. You also have lots of children with lots of other issues, medical issues, physical disability, emotional issues. And even if you had a completely, I don't even know if there's anything such as a completely typical child, but even if you have typical children, this, post-traumatic stress is got to be really a lifelong issue now. So it is, it's good that we're talking about this. And there's, when I have watched the news and see, the devastation in Ukraine and the influx to Poland and, so besides donating financial resources, which is ukraineautismrelief.com, and that redirects to the Global Autism Project, which has been around since 2003. That's the other thing, is like people don't know where to donate money, that it's going to actually get to a good place. You made the trip to Poland. You are a reputable, you've been an award-winning, fundraiser and organizer. So I really do. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, is because I do really trust that the money that people would donate, that I would donate, that people would donate from my world would get into the right hands. But besides donations of financial donations, is there anything else our listeners can do? I mean, we have listeners, we have participants in my programs from over 90 countries. So I have a really global audience here, but what can we do besides donating?
So, and I do want to touch on exactly what the donations are going to create as well. But, one of the things we're going to be doing is we are going to be these, well, I guess it all kind of goes together. So, so the donations are going to be used to actually help displaced Ukrainian therapists reopen their centers. So we've met some incredible therapists who had some amazing programs in Ukraine. And, the idea of starting over from nothing is just really daunting and overwhelming. These were their businesses that they ran. This was their livelihood. They provide therapy for 60, 80 kids at once. And now those kids, by the way, are all over. Some are still in Ukraine, some are in other parts of Europe, some are in the US. So we're going to actually be leasing the space and supporting these people in reopening their therapy centers. So reopening their therapy centers. And then of course we have to fill them with materials and tools and toys and all the fun things. And so that's one thing that we're doing. The other thing is, as I said, a lot of Ukrainian tradespeople have left Poland. So we are actually physically rehabbing some buildings that we're going to be able to use. So some underutilized or unused buildings. We're going to be doing that. And so that's where the donations go. In terms of what you can do, our Skill Core program is what we're going to be using to help provide the training and the actual support, the day-to-day support at these centers. And so you can learn more about that on our website, globalautismproject.org. In the next couple of weeks, we'll have some of these Polish sites where you'll be working with both Polish and Ukrainian students. There's a shortage of services all over the world. And I knew our organization would be engaged somehow in supporting the autism families, families who have autistic loved ones. I did not know, I hadn't quite realized that the shortage of services all over the world means that what we do best, which is build capacity for services, is actually a response to a humanitarian crisis right now.
Right.
And so that's what we'll be doing. It will be, because there's a shortage of services already in Poland, these centers will employ Polish and Ukrainian teachers. This will be open for Polish and Ukrainian students. It's going to be very, very important throughout this process that Ukrainian and Polish families are forming relationships. They're neighbors now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to.
And you also, at your website, I noticed you have some Ukrainian language. Are you also in that UkraineAutismRelief.com? You're asking for donations in one button, but you're also asking for Ukrainian families to connect with you that need services. So you're kind of like a matchmaker in terms of funding and services. Is that correct?
We are. We're also currently with a partnership with Operation White Stork. We're also able to provide emergency 30-day housing vouchers to all of our families. Okay. And so that Ukrainian language says, you know, let us know what you need. Do you need housing? Through a partnership with Project Apollo, we're actually able to provide evacuation support. So families that were not able to leave on a train or a bus, families that did not have a private car to leave, we have a partnership with a group that's bringing in private vehicles and able to get our families who want to leave and can leave out. You brought up the medications. One of the reasons that some people are in Ukraine still is because they don't have the medications to allow their loved one to relax enough to be able to do this drive.
Yeah.
So it's a very real, there's so many pieces of it. Now, some families do want to stay. Some families have made the choice that this is Ukraine, there's safe parts of Ukraine and I want to stay. Obviously we were in Poland, so the majority of people we talked to did not want to stay. But it's a challenging thing. And I think it's easy for us to look and say like, well, I wouldn't stay, or, you know, and it's like, you actually don't know. You actually have no idea. You know, like when a tank's rolling down your street, then you say what you do.
Right. And everybody has different circumstances and they have to make their own choice. Yeah.
They have elderly family members who don't want to leave or can't leave, and kids with autism. I mean, there's complexity to it for sure.
If you like that short clip, please watch the whole podcast interview at marybarbera.com/183. And if you would like more information about how you can join our online course and community, attend a free workshop at marybarbera.com/workshop. And I'll see you right here next week.